Okay, what if the biggest thing holding your business back isn't your idea, but who you know? Today, we're going to dive into something called a vision activation engine. Now, I know it's a bold name, but it's all built on this one really powerful, kind of counterintuitive idea about what truly separates the successful entrepreneurs from the ones who just get stuck.
And this quote right here, this is the whole ballgame. I mean, think about it, right? Entrepreneurs are idea machines. You've probably got a dozen new ones before breakfast. But the argument here is that the real bottleneck, the real friction, isn't the what, it's the who. The problem isn't a shortage of brilliant ideas. It's a shortage of the right people to help you make them real.
And this who problem, well, that's what builds this invisible wall you see here. It's that feeling of having this amazing vision in your head, but constantly hitting a ceiling you just can't seem to break through. It's the thing that secretly puts the brakes on how fast and how far your ideas can really go.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If this invisible constraint is what's holding so many incredible ideas hostage, how in the world do you break through it? How do you go from feeling stuck to finally actually activating your vision?
All right, let's really get into the weeds of this problem. For most entrepreneurs, the reality is you've got 100 amazing ideas floating around, but you only have the bandwidth to execute maybe one or two of them. It creates this constant friction, this grind between your vision and your reality. And man, is it exhausting.
But here's what's so important to get. This friction, it has absolutely nothing to do with how smart you are or how hard you work. This is not about needing to dream bigger or grind harder. The whole point here is that you are not the problem.
And this is the big mental flip. You know, we're all trained to ask, okay, how can I do this? We picture the lone genius, right? Pushing all the gears by themselves. But the better question, the more powerful question, is who can help me do this? Because real execution is a team sport. It's all about collaboration.
So what are we even talking about when we say who? Well, pretty much every idea is missing something. It might be the expert knowledge to really sharpen the vision, it might be the technical capability to actually build the thing, or it might be the distribution, the reach to get it in front of the right people. And let's be real, nobody is a rock star at all three of those things.
So let's give this enemy a name, right? The source material calls it the how mindset trap. And it's this default way of thinking that keeps so many entrepreneurs spinning their wheels.
And when you put these two mindsets side by side, wow, the difference is just night and day. The how mindset, it's linear, it's slow, and honestly, it's where great ideas go to die. But the who mindset, it completely changes the physics of the game. It actually collapses time. It accelerates your vision. It's basically the difference between walking to your destination and, I don't know, teleporting.
You know, this whole idea wasn't cooked up in some business school lab. Apparently, the founder behind this concept started with, well, nothing. So his only move was to get creative and combine what other people already had. For him, collaboration wasn't some fancy strategy. It was literally how he survived. And it turned out to be the most powerful play he could possibly make.
Okay, so we've identified the problem, this how trap. And that leads us to the big idea behind the solution, which they call the who deficiency.
And here it is, laid out, the WHO deficiency. I mean, this just completely flips the script on why so many businesses fail. It suggests that amazing, world-changing ideas die every single day, not because they were bad ideas, but simply because the founder didn't know who to team up with to make them happen.
So, the fix starts with just asking better questions. Instead of getting bogged down in the how, you start looking outward. Who out there has the expertise I'm missing? Who has the capability to build this faster and better than I ever could? And maybe the biggest one of all, who has already earned the trust of the audience I'm trying to reach?
So, naturally, all of this thinking led to building something to actually solve this problem. It's called the CoLAB, and they call it the vision activation engine that we mentioned right at the top.
So how does this thing actually work? Let's walk through it. First, you get your ideas out of your head into what they call a vision bank. Then, a private AI, that's the LLM part, actually helps you analyze your idea to find the gaps. Is it a vision gap, a capability gap, or a reach gap? This process turns your raw idea into a structured asset, what they call collaboration currency. And from there, the system can automatically start surfacing people who have the exact piece you're missing. It's like matchmaking for your vision.
And that really gets to the heart of it. This isn't about piling more work onto your already insane schedule. It's not about the hustle and grind culture. It's about leverage. It's about working smarter by finding those key strategic combinations that give you exponential results, not just 1 + 1 = 2.
Okay, so that's a huge promise, right? Working smarter through better combinations. But does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a look at the proof and see why this might be the new secret weapon for entrepreneurs.
Well, the numbers seem to say yes. In a pretty short amount of time, the platform has already sparked nearly 1,000 collaborations. So this isn't just a theory anymore. It's a real system that's actively out there creating value.
And this isn't just happening in one place either. We're talking about hundreds of partners all over the world, which kind of proves that this who deficiency thing, it's not a local problem. It's something entrepreneurs everywhere are struggling with.
Which brings us to the big question. Why now? Why does this matter so much today? Well, in what people are calling the idea economy, where AI can do a lot of the grunt work, the real advantage is shifting. It's not just about who's the fastest anymore. It's about who can create the most unique, powerful combinations that an AI can't. That's the new unfair advantage.
And this last quote just nails it. We've always known, intuitively, that the right partnership can collapse time. It can help you achieve in months what might have taken you years on your own. The wild claim here is that they've taken that principle and literally built an engine for it, which leaves a pretty big question for anyone out there with a vision. What could you really build if you finally found your who?